Oklahoma Gardening is a production of the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service as part of the land grant mission of the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at Oklahoma State University, dedicated to improving the quality of life of the citizens of Oklahoma through research-based information. Southwood Landscape and Garden Center, Tulsa's source for great gardens, southwoodgardencenter.com. And the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping to keep Oklahoma green and growing. Welcome to Oklahoma Gardening. On today's program, participants in the 2017 OSU Camp T.U.R.F program show how to construct a simple trellis. OSU landscape architecture student Mackenzie Sajeka has tips on identifying and removing poison ivy. Extension turf grass specialist Justin Moss has irrigation tips, and Barbara Brown prepares a strawberry limeade with sparkling wine.
I'm Shelly Mitchell, and I'm the camp director for Camp T.U.R.F, which is Tomorrow's Undergraduates Realizing the Future. Camp T.U.R.F is a Regents-funded summer academy by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. Camp T.U.R.F is for kids who are going into the 9th or 10th grade, so the summer before their 9th or 10th grade. And if you're interested, you can contact me at shelly.mitchell@okstate.edu. Usually applications open in mid-March and they're starting to be selected by April, and the camp is usually the first week or two of June.
Hi, my name is Hannah.
I'm Andy.
Hi, I'm Wyatt.
Hi, I'm Gibson.
Hi, my name's Chloe.
And my name's Zoe.
Hello, my name is Luke Tillery.
And my name is Keon Lamy.
Hi, my name is Bethany.
Hi, I'm Bailey.
Hi, my name is Faye.
And my name is Arlington.
Hi, my name is Mark.
Hi, my name is Joseph.
Hi, I'm Cody.
Hi, I'm Lucas.
Hey, I'm Zach.
Hi, my name is Faith.
Hi, my name is Megan.
Hey, my name is Molly.
Hi, I'm Kimraya.
Hey, my name is Tyler.
Hi, my name is Natalie.
And we're here to build a trellis.
Trellises are great additions to any garden.
Trellises are used for plants to develop onto them, including vines.
You can make trellises in all different shapes and sizes.
So let's get started.
You will need a few materials. You'll need some wooden slats, a drill, maybe two.
You're gonna need a ruler so you can measure the boards, and you're gonna need a pencil to mark them.
You're going to need 12 screws that go through the wood but do not stick out.
You also need 2 bolts, 2 washers, and 2 wing nuts.
Girls! Slats aren't toys.
First, you're gonna need to pick up 2 wood slats of the same size.
You'll need to measure about 1 inch down from the top so you can drill a hole.
I want this to be 2 inches.
No, I want it to be a 1/2 inch.
Okay, we'll use 1/2 inch, but we have to make sure we use 1/2 inch in all of them.
Otherwise, we'll end up with something like this.
What happened to this?
I guess somebody didn't measure properly.
You make sure they're lined up so it stays even.
And then once you drill a hole, you'll bring them out and make a scissor-like shape.
On each side.
Make a mark, and then we're gonna drill a hole through it.
You want to put your bolt in here, in one, and then feed it through the other. Alright, you want to turn it on its backside like this. You want to put a washer on top of it, just like that.
After you put the washer on, you're gonna screw on the wing nut.
And the wing nut needs to be facing the inside of your trellis. So this is gonna be in the back now.
All right, and when you're putting your bolt through your second tower thing, you want to make sure that you're going to mirror it, because if you do it the other way like this, whenever you put on these on the side, they will be at different lengths. So you want to mirror it. Yeah. so that you don't have different lengths.
So now that we've made our scissor pieces, we're going to lay them out flat and mark them where we want to put our cross beams.
Now we're gonna measure 6 inches down on these slats right here.
And then every foot.
You're gonna do 3
to the end.
All right, now we're gonna take our crossboards and we're gonna measure 1.5 inch overlay because we want a little bit of overlay on them.
So after you screw in the other side of the trellis onto the board, you're going to want to screw in on the other side underneath the 3-inch mark that you made.
So after you've drilled the first 3-foot board in, you're going to want to do the bottom one, not the middle one next. If you do the bottom one next, it gives you a square so that you can eyeball the middle one and make sure that there's enough space on each side. So you're going to want to put it under the mark you have made down there.
Slow. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of align it up just like we did with the other ones. And we have to make sure that there's a certain amount of overhang right here, because if you have too much overhang, then it could just go too far to one side. So you want it to be even with the board.
Now that we have one side done, we can just pick it up and fold it over. And now you don't really need to measure it anymore. Now you can just kind of eyeball it. But the crucial thing is not to drill it onto the first one. You want to drill it onto the second one. Because if you drill it on the first one, you won't be able to use it.
And that's how we build a trellis.
And that's how you build a trellis. And that's how you build a trellis.
And that's how you build a trellis.
This has been a production of Camp T.U.R.F. 8.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Sajeka, and today I'll be showing you how to plant a plant properly. Now, the first thing we want to do here is actually figure out the spot where we want our plant, and then we have to dig a hole 2 to 3 times as large as the pot itself. So what we want to do here is take our shovel and start digging the hole. What you do at the end is you want to water it so it's not put into shock from being transplanted from the plant, from the pot to the bed. So yeah, just water. Hope it grows. Hi, my name is Mackenzie Sajeka, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about an itchy subject. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a previous Camp T.U.R.F. member. I did the program in 2013, and I'm currently a landscape architecture student enrolled here at OSU. I am also currently working at the Botanic Garden at OSU. Today I want to talk about poison ivy. Poison ivy grows all over North America, and you can find it be it in your backyard or out in the wildscape when you're doing recreational activities. That's why it's important for everyone to know how to properly identify it and respond if you ever come into contact with it. Alrighty, this is a perfect example of where you would find poison ivy in a wildscape. To begin with, I'd like to talk about how to identify poison ivy. This is really important because this could ultimately keep you from coming into contact with it altogether. So first off, I'd like to begin talking about the plant. Notice that I'm handling the plant with latex gloves on. That's because I don't want to get any of the oil on me. Typically, poison ivy will have kind of a red or sometimes green stem if it's a younger plant. But what you'll notice is that each leaf looks a little bit more like a branch, and these are considered leaflets. This is where we get the saying, leaflets of 3, let it be. That's because each little leaf has 3 smaller leaflets on it. Now, some plants may look similar to this. If you're ever unsure if a plant is poison ivy or not, it'd be best if you're just safe and avoid the plant altogether. A good thing to know is that poison ivy can come in many different forms. This is low-lying ground poison ivy. There's also vine-like ones that you really have to be careful about because they grow up alongside trees and bushes. And there's also very tall and sturdy, almost wood-like poison ivy that can kind of be mistaken as trees sometimes. The oil that's naturally occurring in the plants is called urushiol. It also occurs in other plants like poison sumac and poison oak. It's important to know that urushiol, when you normally come into contact with it, the main way it's transferred is when you break the leaflets. One thing that you should really be aware of, though, is that surfaces that come into contact with the oil can retain the oil, and if you ever touch those surfaces, you can still get poison ivy even without touching the leaflet directly. This means that if you have any animals such as dogs, but if you pet their fur, the urushiol oil that is sticking on their fur can be transferred to you, and that's where you can get poison ivy. This also applies to any and all sports equipment, gardening tools, any hard surfaces that can also retain the oil, or any material-like surfaces that can absorb the oil. In the instance that you do come into contact with urushiol, some key characteristics of poison ivy is that you'll start seeing a small rash develop where these little red blisters start to form. Sometimes they're itchy, other times they can be very painful, and most of the time they'll be a little bit of both. The poison ivy rash varies from person to person. Some instances and for some people it may appear quicker, but typically the span that you'll notice if you have poison ivy will be anything from 8 hours up to 7 days. And so the rash will actually last up to 3 to 4 weeks, and if it lasts any longer than that, you may want to see a medical physician. One good way to prevent coming into contact with poison ivy and preventing yourself from getting the rash is making sure you wear the proper clothing. To protect your skin, you want to make sure to wear closed-toed shoes, long pants that cover your ankles, and preferably a long sleeve shirt in addition to gloves. Now, if you feel like you come into contact with poison ivy and may have some of the urushiol oil in your clothing, you will want to wash it. When putting your contaminated clothes into laundry, you want to make sure that you have gloves on. This way, the urushiol oil in your clothing can't come into contact with your skin before it's washed out. When you've come into contact with poison ivy and may think you've have some of the urushiol oil on your skin, you want to react fast and try and rinse the oil off your skin. A couple of key things is that you want to use cold water. That way it closes your pores and slows down the process in which the urushiol oil soaks into your pores. In addition to that, don't use soap. When you use soap, it actually breaks down the natural oils that your skin normally has. This way, your skin is unprotected and the urushiol oil will actually seep into your skin faster because it is unprotected. Now let's talk about the removal process. When removing poison ivy, you want to be very careful and make sure that you don't compost it or burn it or anything else. You'll want to put it in a sealable bag and throw it away. So here's a good process to remove poison ivy. You want to open up your bag and place it over the top, like so. From here, it makes it easier, by the way, if you have a clear bag, because then you can see what you're doing. You want to grasp the base of the poison ivy, and you just want to pull up and make sure you get it by the roots. From there, you're going to flip the bag over, make sure that all the poison ivy you want is inside, And you're going to want to seal it or tie it, whatever type of bag you have. And from there you can throw it away without having to worry about getting poison ivy. In summary, we've covered the different ways to take care of poison ivy, how to identify it, how to react to it, and how to respond safely to it in terms of removing it and treating the rash.
So we get a lot of questions at this time of year about irrigating lawns and how much water should they put out, things like that. But we also get questions about people maybe have a dry spot in their yard, they've been irrigating, but it seems to be staying dry. And so what we do is we actually have a program where we'll go out and do an irrigation checkup for people. And what we typically see is maybe there's a broken sprinkler head, something's not working just right. And it's amazing to see all the problems that we can encounter that can be fixed pretty easily. And so what we recommend is that some of those jobs can be done by the homeowner, but also we have an Oklahoma Irrigation Association and some contractors throughout Oklahoma that can take care of that for you. So we can point out some problems, get those fixed quite easily. And so these industry groups are important for our state, and actually we have some education for these people too, right? And this education is important not only for the industry, but also the consumers can get involved as well. So tell me a little bit about the Oklahoma Nursery and Landscape Association, Miss Becky Sellers.
Well, the Oklahoma Nursery and Landscape Association is an organization of industry, businesses, and partners in the Oklahoma state and surrounding areas. And it's businesses that come together to do events and education for fellow industry members as well.
Well, that's great. And we have a fellow industry member here, Crystal Sizemore from Deep Fork. Tell us a little bit about what you do and your involvement.
I am currently the president. I've been on the board of directors of the Oklahoma Nursery and Landscape Association since 2010. Started with Becky, and just as every year we just find out that it's just a huge family of professionals and people, like-minded people who are just wanting to do what's best for the state and bringing all the industry leaders together.
So we have something very exciting going on this fall where we're all kind of working together to really talk about water and irrigation and water conservation, water quality, all these things. So tell me a little bit about that, Becky.
We are having the Oklahoma Nursery and Landscape Association's annual convention and trade show. We're partnering this year with the Oklahoma Turfgrass Research Foundation and the Oklahoma Water Resources Center to bring a new show called Oklahoma Grows, which is a multi-state green industry and professionals affiliate conference and trade show, where we'll have lots of education, lots of exhibitors, and great activities for everybody to be at and learn all about water conservation and horticulture and all types of things within our industry.
So master gardeners, people like that would probably be very interested in this, is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And so, Crystal, where are we going to have this? What's the date? Where's this going to be?
It's going to be November 8th and 9th. It's a Wednesday and Thursday, and it's going to be at the WinStar Casino in Thackerville. It's at the Convention Center at WinStar.
So all types of education all throughout the 2 days, and then are there some other events that people can sign up for as well? Nighttime things.
The day before the conference begins on Tuesday, November 7th, we will have 3 different activities. We will have our annual Scramble Golf Tournament there at the WinStar on their golf course. And also for those fishermen, we will have a guided striper fishing tour on Lake Texoma. Yeah. And then in the evening, we will have a guided tour and dinner at the Noble Research Foundation in Ardmore, and they have amazing facilities, greenhouses, and that's going to be definitely a world-class event.
So this is going to be a can't miss event, and Absolutely. They need to sign up soon, right?
Yes, registration will open on the ONLA website on September 1st.
That's absolutely great. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sparkling Strawberry Limeade. It sounds terrific for summertime, and it really is. It is for grown-ups, however. It does use a sparkling wine, so you could substitute that out with something else, but if you are a grown-up, I wouldn't do it. I've got 3 cups of strawberries here that I've sliced. You don't have to do a lot to them because we're putting them in a blender and they're going to take their process from that. I'm also going to add a half a cup of fresh mint leaves and a half a cup of fresh lime juice. And to be honest, this was the most challenging part of it, was squeezing the lime. So if that's the hardest you have to work, then you're good to go. Also going to add about 1/4 of a cup of water because I want to have plenty of liquid in here to have the system work, blender, and then 1/4 of a cup of honey. You could use another sweetener. You could use agave if you wanted to. I like honey better than that, but there are other options out there for sweeteners too. All right, put the lid on that, and then we're going to blend this until it gets nice and smooth. So it's not going to take a long time, but you do want to stop it at some point, stir it around a little bit, and then start it again, because once in a while a strawberry will hide down there in the bottom and not get blended well. That's all there is to that. Again, this, you would normally, for the entire thing, use 750 milliliters of a sparkling beverage of some sort, whether it's alcoholic or not. I'm just going to make 1. This will keep in the refrigerator for a few hours or maybe even a few days. It's never lasted that long. So we're going to put some of this into our cup where we can see it and make sure it looks gorgeous. Officially, it's a half a cup. It's going to kind of depend a little bit on the size of your glass. If you do use a half a cup for it, it should make 6 servings. And then to that, as I said, I'm just making a little bit for now. So you want to pour the sparkling wine down along the edge of it as much as you can to try and keep as much of that foam in there as possible. And again, it should be about equal amounts that you're adding. So we'll get that in there. And then I'm going to use a chopstick because they don't go together on their own. So you can use a chopstick and just stir it gently, retaining as much of the effervescence as you can. Now, as far as cocktails are concerned, this one's got a lot of nutrition, although I always wonder if we can count that under these circumstances. But it's a great way to use some of our strawberry produce, our summer produce. You could switch this out and use peaches during peach season and so on down the line. From where I'm standing, that looks fairly well blended. It smells awesome. And then we're going to add a little bit of a garnish to that. And there you have it, Sparkling Strawberry Limeade for Oklahoma Gardening. This is Barbara Brown.
There are lots of great horticultural events this time of year. Be sure and consider these activities when you're making your plans for the weeks ahead. Next week on Oklahoma Gardening, we are visiting the Oklahoma County Extension Office and a few of their horticultural activities. We'll look at assistive garden tools, visit a couple of master gardeners' home gardens, and have a tasty treat at the demonstration kitchen in the Extension Office. So join us then for more TV you'll grow to love. To find out more information about show topics, as well as recipes, videos, articles, fact sheets, and other resources, including a directory of local extension offices, be sure and visit our website, oklahomagardening.okstate.edu. And we always have great information, answers to questions, photos, and gardening discussions on your favorite social media as well. Join in on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find this entire show and other recent shows, as well as individual segments on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And tune in to our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel to watch segments from previous hosts. Oklahoma Gardening is produced by the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service as part of the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at Oklahoma State University. The Botanic Garden at OSU is home to our studio gardens, and we encourage you to come visit this beautiful Stillwater jewel. We wish to thank our generous underwriters, Southwood Landscape and Garden Center, and the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry. Additional support is provided by Pond Pro Shops, Green Lake Nursery and the Garden Debut Plants, and the Oklahoma Horticultural Society. We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.